So for this project, my group and I thought that it would be interesting to contrast different cultures between different languages through firsthand interviews. Through this, we figured that we would be able to gain a new perspective of ideology from a foreign point of view, but also gain insight of ideology of how ideology of language may differ between um, first-hand English speakers and second-hand English speakers. So please watch and enjoy. What is your full name?
José Luis Castillo Flores.
And what is your first language?
Spanish.
And how many languages do you speak?
So I have studied 6 languages in total, but I consider myself fluent only in 3 languages. Spanish, English, and German.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So, what is it like living in English culture as like a second language English speaker?
Yeah, it's very difficult. To me, it has taken me taken me a lot of time to get used to your culture here. I also know that in Hawaii the culture is really different from the mainland, but still it's like I face every day. I see myself in a lot of weird situations because I don't really know how the culture works here. Like, for example, the way people say hello when they know each other, or in Spain, for example, we normally kiss people when we met, and here I think you don't. So yeah, it's a bit different to me.
So, do you think that Spanish language has played a role in like your own personal ideology?
Yeah, I think, for example, in terms of family, I think we are educated in a different way. So the relationship that I have, for example, with my parents is nothing compared to the one the English people I've met here have. Or even though, for example, I have a roommate, he's from the mainland, no, from Minnesota, and he was in the army, and the way he thinks about politics, about life in general, about money, about women, is completely the opposite philosophy that I have in my life. And I think it's because of the language and the culture.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What is your name?
Michael Trije Gen Willoughby.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak Japanese and English.
And which language is your first language?
I grew up speaking or learning both Japanese and English, but I was raised in Japan, so I'd say Japanese.
So, what do you think are some of the major differences that you notice between English and Japanese speakers?
In American speakers, they usually like to use hands and gesture a lot, but in Japanese people, they're more stiff and tight. American people are more relaxed and like to use like their hands in motion a lot.
Do you think that your language is a part of who you are?
Yes, because learning about Japanese and English have given me opportunities to see and experience different cultures and see different point of views. So yes.
And how do you think your ideology of language differs from those who speak English?
In Japanese languages, everything is with you speak with respect, and it's different from English because there's no words, not words, or but in Japanese there's phrases you put at the end which makes the word more respectable. So there's nothing like that in American language, and Japanese culture is more like well etiquette and more well mannered.
Okay, thank you. What is your name?
Laomeo Paulino.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 2 languages, English and Hawaiian.
Which language is your first language?
English.
Do you think that learning the Hawaiian language has brought you closer to the culture?
Definitely. I think that the culture and the language have a lot to do with each other, so they go hand in hand. And my dad is pure Italian, and my mom is native Hawaiian, but she grew up in a time where the Hawaiian language was basically oppressed, so she didn't really know it. But I think growing up and learning the language was definitely like additive to learning the culture.
How do you feel about growing up in Hawaii, but English being the primary language spoken?
I think English is definitely a language we would have learned either way, but I think it's unfortunate that Hawaiians don't get to learn the language, or not a lot of Hawaiians get to learn the language, so I think that's something we could work on.
Do you think learning Hawaiian has affected your own ideology?
Yeah, it has. I think there's a word in Hawaiian called, or it's makavalu, and it means 8 eyes, but it's like to have multiple perceptions or like a different point of view on a certain topic, and I think that's something that I've gained through learning the culture. Like it allows me to have um, different perceptions on things, you know?
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much.